Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the International 2018. We are in our final series of the day. VGJ.Thunder facing off against Fnatic. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Trent Pax. And my man, it's been a long and arduous day, but we're finally here. Talk to me. How are you feeling about the day's Dota? I mean, we don't want to give too many spoilers, even though we already spoiled the entire stream.
Perfect.
But are you enjoying yourself, having a good time?
Yeah, very much so. It's hard to believe that it's already coming to an end. The first day. It's been busy for these two teams. You know, we had two series so far, VGJ.Thunder, so they're now on to their third, and now Fnatic coming to their second series. So VGJ.Thunder perhaps not quite as fresh, but so far today, in terms of some hero picks, they're pretty varied. So they're all over the map. You know, they had a couple different strats. I've been pulling some Huskar, a little bit of Brood, and some Bloodseekers. So they've got these really, high, very quick heroes looking to get some kills. You know, high tempo, high pace, whatever you want to use. They're high on something, and I guess it's blood. I think they're high on blood. They're going for the kills. It's this new sick thing all the kids are into. Fnatic, on their side, they only had the one series. Yeah. So they're still pretty fresh, and they're looking like Fnatic, 8 hours. It was a long time ago. It was 8 hours ago. My God. It's been that long since that Liquid series?
Yeah, it's been a very long time.
They've just been hanging out since then?
I think so. I mean, the thing is, they're all playing from their player rooms. So they're comfortable. They've probably been watching a lot of the games that have been going on.
It's true.
And, that's something that I think not a lot of people talk about, is that if you're not playing a series, you're watching every other series as a team, talking about what's happening, talk about what you want to do, what you're seeing, because a lot of them don't necessarily know what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, you have your scrim buddies, and then they have their scrim buddies, and there's a little bit of a network, but you might see some of these games be like, oh, well, no one's doing that.
Yeah.
Like, that's new.
And I mean, who knows what it is that they think is strong, but this draft will illuminate us, because you've played one game as Fnatic, you've played a couple as VGJ, both had time to think about it, and now they're going into this one. So first bans of the IO, the Silencer, and the Weaver. I think the IO is a good ban out, considering how strong that was out from the combo that we saw earlier today, the Gyro IO.
Yeah, and I think the Enigma, too, like we just saw in the last game, looking very strong, and Fnatic played it in game number 1-2 in combination with the IO and the Gyrocopter, so don't want to have to mess with that. It just puts certain conditions on your draft, and in my opinion, right now, this TI has way more conditions on your draft than last year. Last year, we were very fortunate to see like 100 and by like 13 or some ridiculous amount of heroes, right? Almost everyone got picked. Yeah. It was very close to that. So unfortunately, now if you're into a lot of versatility and variety, there's a lot of conditions. Like you have to be able to lane really well, because the laning is so important, with denies being such a massive part of the experience. And then you also have to be always prepared for like Brood and Huskar and these weird heroes like Pugna. Like there's all these things that are in your head, and you have all these heroes kind of like locked down into this 2-1-2 meta that we can't seem to break out of.
Yeah, and it's the type of heroes, too, that like just completely change the dynamic of how a game is played. And that's something that you always want to save for last pick if you can, but we've seen from some teams that you can just sometimes pick a third pick Brood. Granted, I think Liquid lost that game, but you know what? It happens. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, well, there she is. She survives this one. So in the first series, they had a chance for it, but didn't go for it. And it looks like they've changed their mind. I guess with the IO being taken out, they say, you know what? Ench is pretty strong too. So they will open up with that. And we'll see if VGJ.Thunder want to go for some of these more classic counters. So some teams have tried the Ursa. Obviously, that didn't work out too well for Pain. And they kind of keep trying the Ursa. I don't know if I'm sold on that one. But Necro and Pugna are both banned.
Yeah. Well, and I think that this is the type of hero that... if you do find an answer to it, it's going to fall off so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be able to replicate that rather rapidly. And it's one of the reasons why I always felt so scary about like putting it in my most banned predictions. Because, maybe VGJ.Thunder has been theory crafting this and coming up with an answer. I'd say in general, Enchantress is more of a North American phenomenon than any other region. And, China's been having a lot of time to think about this, if they've been screaming any NA or other teams.
It's okay. Fnatic's got all NA players anyway. They got Canadian Homeboy, Eternal Envy, captaining it up here.
Hey.
Captain Canada, Captain Canuck, whatever you want to call him. He's there. Our superhero. VGJ.Thunder, their openers so far today, a lot of Venge in their games. And the Weaver banned out, so they can't go for that. And they're going to go for a Lion. So that's a pretty exciting support. Very fun guy. He can win games out of the support role, which is pretty cool. A one clutch Hex in that mid to late game could just completely win it for you, honestly. And there's not a lot of supports that have that possibility. And the potential to just nuke somebody down with the ulti too. But he's not the strongest laner, so they need something really tough to go with that. And they will go for the Ursa. They still like it. I feel like this is the exact same thing as that Gyro and Lycan, where it's like some teams have this opinion and other teams have the other opinion, where it's like some games you look at this and you're like, my God, Enchantress destroys Ursa. Why would you ever pick this hero into Enchantress? And there's going to be these other games where the Ench maybe has a weaker start and she just gets clubbed down every single fight with this Ursa who just blinks on her before she can like enchant him or something, or she doesn't get off to this crazy good start.
Well, and I think that we're seeing what the VGJ.Thunder answer is for her in the first two picks. We're saying, okay, maybe, it might even be the type of game where Lion like goes just his first two skills maxed out. Or like maybe that's a little bit too crazy, but you just take those early on and then you just overpower and go at Enchantress right at the start. Because Enchant only works if you can cast it. And if Lion is disabling you, I don't know if she's going to be able to survive against an overpower.
Yep.
10 seconds
definitely
remaining.
some problems. You know, a classic friend of the old Ursa, the Wind Ranger. She's fallen off. She's not really showing up today. I thought Fnatic would be one of the teams to really be bringing that one out. I guess it's possible because DJ needs a hero still, and it's not that good against Ursa. It's kind of okay against Ursa. It goes both ways, right? Because like you have Enrage, which is pretty irritating, but at the same time, you also have Windrun to help you survive in the laning phase versus the Ursa.
It would also kind of hurt if you do run two of these very like heroes that are susceptible to high magical damage burst. And you have this Winter Wyvern too, which sort of sets it up for being even more of a dangerous spot. So I definitely get what you're saying, and I think that it's the type of hero that I'd like to see on Fnatic. Is there anything that you could take that would like mitigate that also if you did want to run the Wind Ranger, like the high burst damage? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I think it's just like it doesn't really matter. 'Cause it's just DJ's hero. Like he just wants a hero that can help him make plays, and that's what Wind Ranger does. If like because they're gonna see what VGJ.Thunder's next hero is, and if it's anything that's relatively squishy, they get up for it. They are just gonna take out that Huskar. These annoying heroes they've been playing. Wouldn't be too shocked to see the Brood ban next. I feel like there's more pressure for VGJ.Thunder to take it than for Fnatic, just because Fnatic already have the Wyvern. Like I don't think it would be that bad. I guess they could try and just go for some Brood counters, but the 10th pick being there, you're probably gonna have to ban it eventually.
Yeah.
10
It's so crazy that we're in this state where like you look at these heroes banned, and in the past they've been thought of as like niche or odd or things that you wouldn't really want to take, but just showing the state of Dota right now that it can be that it can change that quickly.
Yeah.
Like Huskar in the second round of bans. It's crazy.
Fanatics turn to
Oh
ban.
yeah, and that'll be the third series in a row where this happens. First phase in one of the games, and then second phase in the other. Abed not given that opportunity, but
VGJ.Thunder
shows VGJ.Thunder are prepped for it. Okay, they go with the Brewmaster ban. So they haven't played that today. And it is one of these heroes that's considered to be pretty good against the Broodmother because you can destroy all of the spiders. So maybe Fnatic have something in mind here.
Yeah,
Take a little spider for themselves.
I mean,
Universe Tiny still, by the way.
But yeah.
That would require like a
10
DJ
seconds
Enchantress, but
remaining.
that's still possible.
Yeah,
seconds
I mean, we did see it run mid, but it's kind of not that
VGJ.Thunder's
normal type
turn
of
to
thing that
pick.
you would expect. I certainly wouldn't bank on Abed playing it.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a Universe Ench, but there's some flexibility, just depending on what it is, and that's another great thing about Ench. Kind of do your thing. Crystal Maiden is still in too. If they would just like to grab another support here for VGJ.Thunder, give the Lion more of a power role. The Venge is also still in, which they've been playing a lot.
10 seconds
It's okay
remaining.
versus Wyvern, like swap outs and saves and stuff. You're not caught inside the
5
Winter's Curse.
seconds remaining.
Pretty heavy stun for someone like Enchantress too.
You know, if they don't take the Tiny here from Fnatic, I'm tempted to think that they actually don't want to pick it up for Universe because it's the type of thing that, like, why leave it in the pool that long?
I think it's because they're just assuming it's the Ench, and I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
So I think
Totally.
that's why.
So it is going to be VGJ.Thunder now with their third pick. I think Lion does, like you say, suffer from some laning problems, but Ursa helps to mitigate that. So the rest of their lanes are left pretty open. But I always do worry when you keep things like very static and there's not much chance for things to be switched up. But Dark Willow taking now a lot of team fight out of that support role.
Yeah, she's a lot of magic damage too to help against the Enchantress. Problems though, she also really likes having items. Like the difference between a Dark Willow without a Eul's and a Dark Willow with a Eul's is pretty massive. Gives you way more playmaking opportunities. possibilities with your ultimate, possibilities like Bramble Maze and stuff, but you have a line that
10
also wants a
seconds
blink.
remaining.
So some issues there, but you can play Dark Willow as like a
5
really hard
seconds
5. She
remaining.
can do a lot without items. You just got to be really perfect.
VGJ.Thunder's turn.
There it is.
Finally. All right. I knew he was coming.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, not for this game, of course, but you know this hero's been dead for a long time. Now, a lot of people have been spamming in pubs, and I was getting excited, so I went for the most assists. So I need a lot of assists here, DJ. This is my most assists hero.
Okay.
I think averaging was my plan. But DJ Earth Spirit, this was how this
10
guy made his
seconds remaining.
name. God tier Earth Spirit. And what does he have in this game? He
5
is an Ursa.
seconds
He's going to be looking to
remaining.
control. He's someone who can target Dark Willow during the Shadow Realm, which is really nice to have up against that hero because she's going to try these stupid things in lane, like going for the Shadow Realm TP, and there's nothing you can do. But now they have good plays for that. And also one of the easiest follow-ups to the Winter's Curse.
Very, very solid. And, you know, I think it's worth talking about why this hero fell out of the meta. We talked about the movement to the 2-1-2 lanes as opposed to having a roaming support, mainly because of the changes that you got to bounty runes where they no longer give experience, and that all happened a long time
They're
ago.
not every 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Which was pretty nice.
That was where Earth Spirit found his bread and butter. The thing that you can have now is you can run an Earth Spirit in a lane where somebody doesn't need a ton of help, and that is the Enchantress. A hero that can kind of dominate once maybe Earth Spirit helps her get a kill, and then you start to make the rotations. Wind Ranger's taken, not for the team that we thought it was going to be.
Well, to be fair, I only brought her up because she was the old friend of Ursa.
That's fair.
So she is going to be the friend of Ursa. They're hanging out together again. This is pretty nice. You know?
Well, you know, one thing that does hurt is that Wind Run's
10
dispellable.
seconds remaining.
So Enchantress getting a lot of value out of that potentially.
A little bit
5
irritating. That's
seconds
true.
Remaining.
And the other reason why this Earth Spirit works here too is because I think Weaver and Ench are probably the two big heroes that you're going to be looking for if you want to see an Earth Spirit right now, because they're the two best like solo laners, or the two best like, oh, we got a little bit of a lead in this lane. Get the hell out of here, my support, because I want more levels. Or I want to snowball even harder.
VGJ.Thunder's turn.
A Visage. Okay. So we've been talking about Envy going back towards these more active heroes. This is a great one for him. It's something that doesn't have to play for like super late game. It allows them to capitalize on things that go well early. And currently the TA is still in the pool, but I'm pretty sure it's about to be banned.
Okay. You don't think that this is any chance for an Abed hero?
It could be, and they could go for a Drow, which is totally fine.
Yeah. And that
10
leaves it open, and
seconds
it's one of the
from
nice
Fnatic's
things about this
turn
draft, I
to
guess, too.
ban.
They just banned the Tiny instead, which also would have been pretty good. All right, but they're going to ban Brood then. Yeah, they're going to ban Brood.
God, there are going to be so many summons in this game. And then you've also got like weird little things that help the push too, like cold embracing creeps as they go up to towers. These towers from VGJ.Thunder are going to fall very rapidly if they don't have a ton of outspam, and they kind of don't have the greatest
10
already.
seconds remaining.
I feel like they're prepping for a Brood
5
pick for
seconds
VGJ.Thunder.
remaining.
Because like, why else would you ban that out, right?
Yeah.
And you're just thinking like, okay, we'll just get rid of that time. Yeah,
Turn
and they'll
to
ban it
pick.
out too. So Fnatic just making sure. And now the opportunity's there for the TA, which creates some issues with Ursa, I suppose, but I think they'd be pretty happy with that. Just Abed's so good on the hero, and it fits the timing of the Visage.
Is there anything else that they really need?
I think it's just Drow or TA.
Yeah. Like that accentuates what they already do, and TA obviously gives you like some of that
10
later game
seconds
scaling stuff
remaining.
too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else out of the mid that could like
5 seconds.
I mean, they could just go for something like a DK or something like it. Then the
Yeah.
Ursa comes mid, so that creates some problems, but it feels good. One of those two.
Yeah.
Fnatic so far today, they've played the Tiny in the mid lane, and then it looks like they might have had other Clinks, probably the Clinks in the mid lane, looks like in their last final game they had. But that's banned out. Tiny's banned out. Abed's Meepo's banned out.
Yeah.
So whatever they think is going to give them a little bit of a better look here. They're also Arc Warden players. That hero has not reared his ugly heads today.
I did see it banned out in the first phase in one of the other games earlier
was he?
today.
Yeah, he's making some appearances, is he?
I don't remember the teams, but it happened.
Just
Promise.
trust me. Trust me, guys.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, definitely. Like
Nope.
the other way you could maybe go is more team fight to follow things up, because if like
Could tinker, too, if they're just like, they're never going to get in. Okay. The Bear Man. So this is probably Abed, Visage, and then Envy, Druid. And instantly into the Alchemist.
Choose your hero.
So VGJ.Thunder was sitting there going, okay, if they don't pick something that like is really scary in the mid lane or something, we're just going out. We're just doing it. And then as Druid comes out like, oh, it's Visage mid. We're just going. We're just going out.
I mean, I feel like this Fnatic draft is very strong, and I don't think that Alchemist
Look at those
It,
mutton
it
chops.
is a high ground defense hero. Yeah, the mutton shots are
that's
really
a scary
beautiful.
guy.
Look at those.
Really nice.
But I feel like there's so many Alchemist games nowadays where you just like lose all your 2/2 towers and then you can't farm. We have seen some that have been really successful, but this pressure that comes from Fnatic, it doesn't solve that problem.
It just really looks like Team Liquid are going to win this one. You know, the Matu here, you know, he's playing up. He's got himself the lone druid. We got Miracle here in the mid lane on this Visage he's playing. We got, this is some Liquid Dota right now. Just going for this like quick super push kind of a deal. It's like potent, like old Liquid sort of style. I like it though. Envy used to play a lot of lone druid. Very good on the hero.
Yeah.
Always enjoy watching that. But it's bear versus bear. And one bear can be better than two bears. If he gets on top of either of the bears, can certainly shred it very quickly. And you already have the Wind Ranger too, so you have to be a little bit cautious with your bear positioning for the shackles.
Right. I guess the scary thing is that you do also have a Savage Roar, so you're going to need something like a BKB on Sylar at a pretty decent timing. I think, again, the big thing is like a push coming from a Visage happens so much more quickly than the push that's going to be coming from VGJ.Thunder. And how many of those items are VGJ.Thunder going to be able to get up before the pressure starts to be mounted?
Yeah, it can depend. Like, this Wind Ranger can certainly get kills across the map with the Ursa, so if they end up waiting on this lone druid to maybe get his items, like, I think the Enchantress is actually pretty vulnerable.
Okay. Do you think you still go Helm nowadays on the lone druid?
Envy, maybe. I could see it. He might just go try to kill into like a Radiance or something. I don't even know if he'll go for like a smaller item.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on how his lane goes, but yeah, I still like Helm personally.
Okay.
I think the attack speed aura is just too strong.
And then you get the Rabid for your creep that you take too, which is pretty nice. As we do see a couple of the tips starting. DJ, Yang, DJ's tipping his carry, which you'll love to see. Yeah, I'm excited to see this Earth Spirit. I think that, as you mentioned, it's a hero that has not been around in a very long time. And as the chat wheel spam is already beginning a little bit, has the potential to do some cool things. Look at this movement, though, from VGJ.Thunder. They don't have anything skilled up yet. Lion is the one that's walking a little bit behind. Earthshock maybe, but they can't get him.
I'm hoping to find something with the line here, but just not going to be there.
Yeah. He could drop down a ward. They see him, though.
30
DDC
seconds
realizing he's going to back out. They are moving into the area, the rest of Fnatic. And with that, looks like a battle for this rune. Got to be careful. They've left. The Alchemist is no longer here. DJ still has his role if he needs to use it, as starting to lay into the heroes. Brambles out as well. They force back Pylai Die. And VGJ.Thunder brought more heroes. They're good to go.
Yeah, not very effective Brambles there. Weren't able to catch the Wanderer out there, so they get 3 runes. Real nice. And what is our lane going to be then? So we've sent Eternal Envy into the top lane, and who will be matched up? They probably want the Ursa? No, they're going to send the Wind Ranger, okay.
All right.
So Wind Ranger and Fade to come up top here. See if they can pressure onto the bear, and DJ, I assume, is going to try and get a kill down bottom first. And Sylar knows it.
Oh, that was nice. That was a really good placement there by Sylar, because he knows the other heroes aren't going to be in position to follow up if he rolls in.
Yeah.
So now seeing DJ's in the area, and if they want to, they could go on DDC, who's just pretty far out of position.
Yeah, I don't think he actually ran into DJ. I'm not sure if they actually saw each other. I think they were super close, because that would be pretty suspect positioning from DDC if he saw him.
Yeah. Well, they do manage to find a range creep deny. The early battles here for CS, as Freeze is having to deal with the Visage in his lane. And so far, Lone Druid unable to have a fine time. I mean, is this a lane where they need to bring another hero to help out the Lone Druid?
I would think so. Especially if they like pull this lane back at all. But it looks like they're trying to ensure that they don't have to. They blocked off the hard camp there so that VGJ.Thunder can't pull. And this isn't really a situation where you'd be bringing a sentry. It's the Radiant, right? They're not going to have time to bring the courier up here, which means this is just going to stay blocked off. And that should secure that they don't need a rotation from a support up here. And that allows the Wyvern to help out mid and help out bottom.
Freeze hit and dove as there's 2 birds in his lane as well. They're getting the Soul Assumption stacks up and are going to be able to find Freeze. A good bit of damage, but not quite enough. In the bottom lane also, they're able to find 1 kill.
They got to kill top 2. They dove Envy under the tower, and then they also lost Universe bottom. So a couple losses there for old Fnatic.
Necessarily what you want to have happen. And Freeze, in the meantime, still fine here mid.
And that just means if they kill this bear, right? Problems for old Envy.
Yeah, 100 seconds.
This definitely guarantees he's going Helm, by the way. If he's being left alone lane like this, I mean, he already has it queued up, but it's just like the odds of you being able to get a Radiance in a sort of a decent time are just completely minimal. And he's essentially destined to be a poor lone druid. And so that just means you get Helm and you play with your Visage.
Yeah, and now they're sort of zoning out the rest of these heroes. They've already brought the Winter Wyvern towards mid, and Freeze is just forced to taunt away and try and play this sort of off-lane-ish type of role, but it secures that Abed is getting a good amount of gold.
All he can do is chat wheel. And he has a level available if they think they can get killed with Concoction.
Yeah.
But they can't quite force it out. And they actually do pop the Arctic Burn at the very least, so he didn't get to get the full harassment off there. And that means he can go back in towards a Grievel's Greave. He can find some last hits.
Interestingly enough, it looks like on top of Envy having Helm queued up, it's also Abed that has it queued up. If you can get this before that, 10-minute mark, or I guess maybe even 5-minute mark, some people talk about, you could potentially get the catapult that's going to come in with that.
Yeah, depending on how well your lane goes.
Trading hits so far, as they did bring in the Willow to secure Freeze a little bit of a better time.
Yeah, we talk about these 2-1-2 lanes. They don't necessarily have to be in 2 side, 1 mid, 2 side. We've had quite a few 2v2s in the mid lane because people are going for these cheesier heroes. And Alchemist, he definitely fits the bill. You know, he's not the cheesiest like auto win hero, but he is a hero like Huskar that like you just need to change how you play mid because you don't want to give him a free start.
Yeah. He's the type of hero that can just get off to the tracks and start dominating a game. We do have the Arctic Burn, the roll through, the stun, as well as they find DDC and should be able to secure themselves a kill.
It's good that DJ's getting these kills too because he really wants to get in towards that urn and then just keep snowballing from there.
Yeah. Visage does have an Invis rune. He's not going to be able to do anything with this one as the Alchemist is just running back home.
That's nice. He tipped his allies. Look at this positive reinforcement from Fnatic. A rare sight at TI, the ally tip.
That's true. You got to appreciate your team. That's how you build chemistry. It's the way to be. About 4.5 minutes as teams get ready to fight for those bounty runes. And Abed getting closer and closer to that helm. Don't know if he's quite going to make the mark there as far as getting it before the catapults come out. But nonetheless, they are going to rotate in now. DDC shows up, and they don't have an answer. It's just the bear punching him. And now instead, they're actually going to try and take down DDC themselves. Pylai Die making the rotation. That secures the kill.
Yeah, and phase boots here, though, on the bear.
Run, run, run.
Oh, he gets the bounty rune. He'll be okay.
That is...
I think he's okay.
Really?
He's not
he's
okay.
Not. He's definitely not.
Definitely not okay. He is too speedy.
No. Now, 3 bounty runes went the way of Fnatic. Lone Druid also getting pretty close towards his, but will not have the helm in time either. Universe, level 4, about to hit level 5. As far as CS is concerned, he's a little bit behind the Ursa, but it's not too bad.
Not relatively okay. Still looking for his ring. Help him with some pressure on this lane if they want to with the catapult.
Oh, roll in. A miss there, though, onto Sylar. They do throw out the enchant. Does still have overpower available if he wants to use it.
He's trying to whittle him down a little bit here, and I think you could create an opportunity here, but it looks like they're just going to leave the catapult.
Okay.
Especially with the massive cooldown that's left. There's not really much hope of getting it.
Yeah. A little unfortunate, I'm sure, for Fnatic, but at the same time, you can use that enchant later to pick up one of the creeps and find a kill opportunity. But yeah, as far as CS is concerned, it's really just been Envy the one that's been struggling.
Yeah.
Because he's been left alone.
Fade has taken up residence in the mid lane while Freeze heads to the jungle and just abuses some of these stacks that have been made for him. This is really nice stuff here. Look at these stacks from the Dark Willow. And so this not only helps the Dark Willow because of the gold, right? But getting yourself this lane like this is a very greedy support. We talk about having 2 super greedy supports in line the Dark Willow. This helps solve that problem by going early into the jungle when you're
is DDC really going to get out of here? He just TPs away.
Yeah, no stuns left.
Wow, really impressive.
This is really scary stuff. Like, he just cleared out a full double stack, and if he gets there in time, he can stack that camp below him too. Nah, he's not going to be able to throw it out there. Oh, he's going to go for it.
Tries to.
I don't know. It's going to be close. Go, Creeps, go! Oh, that potato.
It's got to get its boots on. They're a little bit quicker, my life.
So disappointing for Freeze. I'm sure he's very sad.
Well, Abed gets level 6. This is where things get particularly scary, and that's why we saw Freeze head back to the jungle. Doesn't want to be hanging out there mid where he could potentially get dove. And really, it's a big timing window for all of Fnatic as they do find Sylar. Great roll in some trouble. DJ trying to escape. He does get out. Now DDC turning as well, only at level 4, and all he can do is mana drain for another couple seconds. As DJ will have another round of rolls and stuns in a sec. DDC, hello, stun again, and out there, gone.
I mean, he may have died, but the fact that you can, like, earth spike someone and run under them is one of the coolest things to do. It looks so good. It's like, body block me? Haha.
Sylar is in some trouble here as Universe is just continuing to make his life hell, and also towards mid lane. Freeze taking a lot of this damage. The stuns are there. They get the kill. Abed tanking the tower. He doesn't care.
Oh, that's an impressive amount of burst. I mean, you expect that from this hero when he gets to Helm, where it's just like instantly dead. But against an ultimate elf. Very nice. And Dire still get it. And the kill. Yo, sniped.
Oh, good power shot there as well. And they try and take down this Enchantress. They find the silence. It's not going to be enough, though. In the meantime, they can also kill off Fade.
Oh, another power shot. This guy's on fire.
It's pretty good. Yang is good at Dota.
It comes in, power shot, kill, shackle, kill, power shot, kill. What? This guy's clean up. This is the mop and bucket. Yang. And unfortunately, 2 of his heroes fed a Visage mid. Dark Willow went for the play after the Alchemist died, and then just died to the Visage, as Abba just went enshrined, I believe, too. And so he's back up to full HP, and he's like, all right, now I got a medallion. Thanks for the 2 deaths.
Yeah.
And he's being backed up by a Wyvern because there's a big target on your back after a double kill like that.
Right. You've got a streak going, potentially. You're going to end up drawing a lot of attention. Top lane is still being pressured by the bear, though, so they need to send the Dark Will up there to deal with it, and that means nobody can really come mid, and you just go for the quick medallion onto the creeps. You take down this tier 1 to very low HP, and meanwhile, bottom lane, more pressure onto Sylar.
Well, he's already lost his tower. He's kind of in the danger zone, and that's what an Earth Spirit needs to prey upon. Try and find some place where you don't have any sort of TP help for rotations. I think he should be mid soon, too, because he wants to join in on a dive like this. But it's really risky to roam in like this, but he has an Observer Ward.
The other thing to keep in mind is that this is all under the vision. These were placed down a couple of minutes ago by the Dire. DJ is going to kick them away, and then they're going to miss on that smoke gank. So all of this vision laid down has set the stage for Fnatic. They know,
They're bringing Abed, too.
You can't actually come up there and contest Envy. We're going to leave him completely alone and just play on this side of the map, and they're going to own it.
Yep, good scan, too. Just on top of the ward to make sure there's no smoke. Pilot Eye will skid out Yang.
Another ward placed on this half of the map.
Yeah. Bit of a riskier gank, too, just because like they went in at the 10-minute mark, so they were trying to catch some of the bounty rune. So it gives them the bounty runes, but it just means they didn't have the tomes yet, so there was no 6 on the Earth Spirit or the Wyvern.
DDC being chased down here. They have other heroes in the area. Yang moving. They're trying to bait this out. The Earth Spirit could set up for something big.
I think with Abed gone, it's not worth.
Okay.
Half duration still left, though, and now they're going to go for it with the impetus.
Kick back, more damage. They've got vision. They can hit him. And unfortunately, no way to break that TP for Fnatic. Taking a look at the net worth, it's still Abed who's leading the way on this Visage. And God, he's getting close to a Solar Crest. This is why this hero is scary.
Yeah, farms very fast. And we talk about these mid heroes that can farm Ancients. And Visage is another one of them.
Likewise, though, Freeze trying to get towards a Radiance himself. Already level 8, and he's going to try and go for the deny on the tower, it looks like. We'll see if they realize what's happening, or if it will just end up being denied. Yeah, let's take it out.
Middle tower has been denied.
And this entire time, they've still been farming under vision for the Ursa. They know what's going on here.
All right, well, you've got the first couple achievements. Like, whenever you have Visage like this, you really want to take down the tier 1s as fast as possible because you just have this, like, really big power spike with Helm and Medallion. So that's going well for them. Roche is the next one on the menu for sure. As they're going to find DDC down bottom, roll in from DJ, and then the Soul Assumption just to top it off. That creates a spree now for Abed 3-0-0.
The other thing to keep in mind, they were just tanking the tower with the bear, and then they had 2 catapults in away, and that manages to get the tower without committing anything besides the bear.
Yeah, they need some denies. That's another one.
This is really, really rough here. They got the 1 deny mid, but now you have the bear, you've got all these Visage birds. The pressure that's coming with the catapult here as well, like, it is so hard to deal with this.
Like what did that Terrorizers do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It had nothing. Like, all right, I guess they let them kill a catapult, but now you're
Roll
dead.
in, stun on it too, the fear as well. They're all magnetized, they get stomped also. And that's going to be another one dead. And the tier 2 tower down.
They will catch themselves a Wyvern in the mid lane, but I mean, Wyvern doesn't care, just leeching XP trying to get 6. Because it looks like the tome went to DJ.
And I gotta say, the vision game coming out from Fnatic has been spectacular, and they will run into DDC again. They spot him under the wards. Do they decide to roll in for this, or Spirit? A little too far away. But yeah, that play up top too, just the bear tanking the towers while they had the 2 catapults hidden it. Super solid stuff from Envy.
Yeah, and I like Universe's choice here. He's always been a player very good at identifying when a 4-staff is like the best option possible. He pretty much buys it on every hero when he's up against an Ursa. I remember like big game when he's like Darkseer versus at Manila Masters. They like won them the game. They just went 4-staff first. And an Ench in this game, it's the exact right choice. Because they need to find a way back into this game, and it's off of this Ursa. Sylar will get scared out here, but they're not even going to commit. They're getting towers. They are just stomping across this map, but there's the danger of Lone Druid versus Wind Ranger.
Roots down. They got him caught, but immediately Abed comes in. That puts the kibosh on any hopes of potentially taking this fight. Fade. And a lot of damage. The stun, the silence, the kill. Abed dominating.
That is a hard one to get out of. Especially when DJ was there with backup, too.
Alchemist. He's kind of alone. They have Winter's Curse.
Yeah, this is definitely worth it. They have to.
Oh, they might not even have to, though. DDC shows up. They get the silence onto both of them. No follow-up at all. Abed kills off one. They get the other. Fnatic just laying waste.
6-0-1. This is Roche for sure if they want it. They can honestly go for the tier 2 instead, and I think that's what the pings might be saying. They can't decide. Roche, tier 2. Roche, tier 2. Back and forth.
First world problems.
It's so difficult when you're just winning so hard. It's only a 1K lead, though, but again, that's an Alchemist. So that's probably the vast reason why. Like,
when a Visage is above an Alchemist, the Alchemist is not happy.
No, you got problems.
And this is what we were talking about. It's the type of draft that so quickly can just become a problem, as Yang wanted to go for the wind run away, but unfortunately, Enchant is a spell.
All right, now, if anyone told me Fnatic would win the fastest game at TI, I'd love to see the percentage on that prediction. Because I mean, this is one of those games, all the tier 2s are gone.
Yeah.
Under attack.
That's a lot of towers. Currently, we're at 6 towers down at 15 minutes.
Are scanning.
And not one taken by the Radiant, and they keep on remaining aggressive. They know they're going to be here to defend or to try and get themselves some bounty runes. And with the TP out, DJ, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where he was.
That's fair.
Solid play there to get out. Now, can they actually capitalize on this stall? Because there's still some tools, still the Winter's Curse, but not going to be in time.
Oh, great shackle there as well. They managed to find him. The stun that follows up, the roll, the kick onto both of them. They have the silence to follow this one if they so desire. Yang trying to run immediately. Enchanted and killed off. The power shot actually clipped DDC there.
Yeah,
but
kind of reveals him. Just like, oh, please no. But can't moonwalk out of that one for the Wind Ranger. And a buyback for the Wyvern doesn't really end up being necessary, but doesn't cost you much. It just helps you run towards Roche if you'd like. Just guarantees that you're not going to throw any of this lead, because that is a threat, right? Ursa can't just blow up a hero like that, and suddenly you're feeding a lot of the gold you gained back into the enemy team. And there is a relic done now for Freeze, and he already has the recipe. So Radiance is prepped at 16 minutes. Considering the state of this game, admirable. Will it be enough to carry them? I do kind of doubt it, but there's always a chance.
I mean, if you look at what Fnatic is doing with their damage, it's a lot based upon right clicks. That miss percentage is the best possible thing that they could hope for.
That is true. That's like 17% like HP They're, you know, expected survivability, basically.
Yeah. But when all of them
Effective
are hitting
HP. I knew there was a term. I found it, guys. Don't worry. I got you.
it's the Trent Fax.
Yeah, it's Roche Pit time.
Trent Fax instead of Trent Packs. You like that?
Yeah, I thought about making a series called that. Then I realized I didn't make cool facts. And then I realized I'd have to make YouTube videos and edit them. And I was like, man, Trent Fax does sound cool. It was like facts with Trent Packs, or it was going to be like
FAX.
Trent Hacks. That was my other one. I've gone through this. Turns out YouTube's just not worth the effort. If Dota Cinema can't make it, what hope do I have? I mean, what's the point? Jeez.
2,000 net worth lead right now for Fnatic, but it feels a lot more than that, and they are going to move in towards the Roche pit. This needs to be a defense here. VGJ.Thunder, they're smoked up. They know this is where they could be. They find Universe right at the start. There's a big hero to pick off if they can kill him, and they will. But can they stop Roche from occurring? The Terrorize onto only 2. It clipped on a DJ, though. He's the main team fighter they've got.
So, I mean, they're so far away, though. They just don't have the mobility to do anything because they don't have the items.
Yeah.
Look at this Wind Ranger. You're sitting on a javelin. Like, there's no Blink Dagger. And they can't do anything.
And thinking about going. He does get a nice shackle there. That's about the best they could hope, but it still doesn't come up enough.
All right. This artificial, you know, like in the rear view where it's like object in the rear view is closer than they appear.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite in this game. VGJ.Thunder are further away than they appear because of the Alchemist. Like, this is not a 1K league. This is like a 5, 6, 7K league sort of deal. They got problems on the side of VGJ.Thunder.
And he's going for a Blink Dagger next, which is what we've tended to see as far as like get in there and actually make stuff happen. The downside is that there's already a Spirit Vessel on DJ with 6 charges, so you need a BKB to deal with that.
Wow.
And it's just not going to happen.
It is really nice, though, because this is a big change up for the Alchemist where in the past you get Radiance and then you still had to buy this Manta and then you just shoved waves and you weren't even that much of a factor in the team fights. New Alchemist, pretty different. Once he gets up into like that concoction cooldown, I think you just buy it when you have the Blink Dagger. And did we just curse him? Did he just buy Yasha? All right. Never mind, I cursed him. He's going Manta. Oh, why? I feel like they need to fight, but I guess he thinks they just can't fight, so he's just going to try and rat because Fnatic are going to rely on 5-man to actually take tier 3s. Might be the play. DDC looks like his ratting not quite as successful.
He salved up there even, trying to just stay alive and get a TP, but did not happen, and now the pressure is coming.
I feel like that Blink Dagger, like in sync with the Ursa and then the Wind Ranger, I kind of feel like that would have given an opportunity. But it is more damage with the Manta. You can't really disagree with that. So if you can get the Ursa and the Wind Ranger to set up the fight instead, it just puts more pressure on them, I suppose, instead of Freeze.
Well, results-based analysis is always the way to go.
I like it.
So we will see if they can defend high ground. If they can defend here, it's all worth it, right?
Yeah.
That being said, there was just now a Radiance done for the Spear Bear. Doesn't matter if he's shackled, I guess, as they use the glyph. Dark Willow still not here in the bottom lane, trying to pressure the tier 1 tower. As we do see the slow siege and the stun onto 1. Sylar takes down the bear 1 time. Terrorize gonna connect onto 3. Not bad. There's also a shackle there onto 2. Yang doing a lot of damage here and able to burn through it, but there's gonna be the cold embrace. The Curse Crown stun as well onto Envy. They managed to find the kill onto Abed and now looking for more. This is Envy really close to going down, but he will live through it. 1 for 1, but the one that died on VGJ.Thunder is a lot bigger.
They're using Spirit Vessel charges, but they're not staying. So it looks like that'll bring them back. They still have another 3 minutes with this Aegis, so
yeah,
really important that he didn't go down there.
Radiant are scanning.
And now you can see Yang went down for the bounty runes, and he's like, oh, I'll get this. Oh, it's not there. Oh, I'll go get this one. Oh, it's not. Where'd it go? Oh, the bear. Because it's Envy. Guys,
Yeah.
do you think Envy isn't going to be on top of that? You're wrong. This guy knows
ready.
how to get the bounty runes.
And he can push out this bottom wave and then just go back in again once Visage is up. So
Yeah.
they can continue to control this part of the map, take down shrines. They're in a really good position right now on Fnatic.
And this shows why the Alchemist felt pressured to get the Manta, but unfortunately it just takes so much longer to get than the Blink Dagger. Like, he obviously would have had the Blink Dagger and they would have had a chance to use it to fight. Instead, now he has to try and farm up towards this Manta to try and combat this split pushing by the Lone Druid. But the split pushing isn't the problem. It's the bear on your doorstep right now in the top lane.
Yeah. Impossibly hard to deal with. If they could manage to kill it, it would be 40 seconds dead. Curse Crown is going to be there as well, looking for the poof back, but not going to happen. Still Still an acid spray. Throw down the bramble maze as well. More power shots, more death coming, but the cold embrace is going to be there in the bear.
They need it. This is their only bear.
Yeah.
And 20 seconds.
Although now it's at a point where if you kill it off, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Pump faking to terrorize. Still, the mid lane is going to be pushed out, but that is a full lane of barracks. Is Fnatic just constantly capable of keeping that up. They lose their helm scrape, but
look at Envy just waddling around, nothing but a helm and an Aegis. It's the least value item slots I've ever seen in my life. He
Get
just
a win
needs
lace.
nothing. He just walks. It's like, just come on, come at me.
his bear doesn't even have
Radiant's
boots.
top shrine.
Who needs it?
This is like,
He wants them to catch up to it.
this is the embodiment of this draft. Like,
Yeah.
you just literally walk at them at 280 movement speed, and they can't do anything to stop it.
Oh, this bear might have just been sacrificed.
That's a resummon.
Radiant's top shrine
300
is under
gold,
attack.
and they have their bear back. I mean, that matters.
Yeah, that's okay. Another 4-staff picked up here.
Radiant's
Just
top
so
shrine
difficult
has fallen.
for Sylar to have an impact before he is a basher.
God, look at Alchemist farming out the enemy jungle. This is the way that you got to do it if you're going this build. But even with the Manta, I mean, does that really solve the problems that they have in this game? I don't think so.
It alleviates a lot of pressure.
Right.
Doesn't solve it, but I think it ended up being the right call. I think Fnatic only getting one lane of racks and not winning the game. They might have won the Blink Dagger fight, but this was the, I guess, lower risk sort of a play.
Yeah.
I think he just got scouted out by the courier, but he TP's home.
That will secure the Manta now, so the split push of the waves will go on. Also do have the stable concoction cooldown that we were talking about. He finally picked it up, as well as the 400 health talent at 15. So a little bit harder to kill off. You still have the Spirit Vessel on DJ.
How do they initiate here? It has to be the Ursa and the Wind Ranger. And Envy has lost the Aegis, so that's a great target for them. But I think they really want Abed. Plus, they have to deal with this Wyvern, and very unlikely they can find Paladin with this 4-staff. He can just play so far back.
Freeze will push out these lanes, and it looks like Fnatic thinking to push down bottom. That way, there's the longest distance that Freeze has to travel to come from protecting the wave before he gets into the fight. A disciplined play so far by Fnatic as they have a 3,000 gold lead. The Shackle will land. Sylar hitting the bear. The Cold Embrace keeping it alive for the moment. VGJ.Thunder needing something to deal with this pressure that's coming out from Fnatic. A Curse Crown will connect yet again. Cold Embrace back up in 6 seconds if they want to use it.
Ogre Frostmage helping the bear out here. Look at this, does nothing with the Solar Crest. The tower is worthless.
31 armor after the talent, as well as that ice armor.
Touch that bear, go ahead.
Fear. It ain't happening. Again, the Terrorize, they're able to find the stun. Not bad. A Shackle onto 2 as well. They manage to get it, but DJ jumps in, magnetizes, as well as the silent stun onto 2. Sylar has no backup at this point. They're trying to blow up 1, but DJ's still living through it. Freeze jumps in, gets the Manta off to take away the full combo coming out from the Magnetize, but DJ still lives through it all, and the buybacks galore, but they still haven't solved the Fnatic problem.
Yeah, everyone is still here. Plenty of Spirit Vessel charges to go around. Pops 1 still has 3 remaining, and they're back on the high ground. Just excellent combo breaking move there from DJ.
Assault Cure Ass is done for Visage as well.
Yang is so important. They need that Blink Shackle. Sylar just has no control.
And this time around, Terrorize not going to be used as they find the stun from DJ. They split the uprights of the barracks. They get the kill with the silence.
In the Shadow Realm, she just dies.
I mean, I think that feels good for a lot of pub people.
It
out
really
there.
does. Just to see that, like, this little black figure just dying. Can't even stop.
Radiant's
Now
middle
they're
tower
hitting the last tier 3 tower, and VGJ.Thunder, again, they've got a draft that's made to try and outlast with the Alchemist, but he is just nowhere near online enough, and no amount of power shots in the world are going to be able to stop this push. They need the Alch back, but they also need him to push the waves.
Well, I don't think Fnatic are going to slow down.
I mean, Roche capable to respawn. It will be back up in a minute, but they are just ready to hit away at this tower. A good Shackle again,
Yeah.
but it eventually is going to fall. They don't have the outspam they need. They will terrorize back up again. It looks like Fnatic finally going to cool the Jets.
I think with the bear just being so low and there's no bear for 20 seconds, that they're just going to retreat back, get the shrine. And they have a lot of gold too, so should probably spend that and not sit on like half of your lead.
Yeah, that's
obviously one way that you can lose out on an advantage you built.
There are a lot of heroes down here bottom for VGJ.Thunder. They're anticipating a movement, seeing if they can potentially pick somebody off.
And the bait.
Oh,
wow.
The blink away DJ. The reactions are there. And now VGJ.Thunder need to get the hell out of there. The Winter's Curse, it's onto one. Terrorize, it's going to land onto two with a stomp. It comes through. The kick as well. It follows it up. This bear has been left nowhere to go.
Nice enrage to save his life, though.
Oh, and the jump forward, the magnetize, it manages to hit onto 4. The secondary kit is going to maybe reapply it. Can he quite kill off DDC in time? It's not going to be enough.
Wow, solo. If there was ever a player I needed to have a voice line that says, yes, I just did that, it's DJ.
This guy is freaking out of control. And
Envy.
Again,
objective focus.
They take down the melee barracks. Sylar trying to build up the Fury Swipe stacks, but this is only a bear. Guess what? He's got a friend who's coming back to life in a second.
Not a lot of hope in terms of a catch here.
I mean, in spite of everything else that's going on, it still only is a 10,000 net worth lead. Like, Alchemist is, like, kind of catching up, but this is an Alc who needs to be playing from ahead. That's how the hero is balanced.
Ahead, but with this build, it's a little different, right? Like,
yeah.
He's not actually fighting people. He's just pushing waves and everything, so he's got some plays going.
Right. And Roche is up.
Just needs to push these waves. He did get the blink. That's good. Yeah. Needs that.
Ooh. Visage. Ag Scepter. And also the Soul Assumption hits 2 targets. It's a lot of damage. Blade Mail Bear with a Vlad's.
Oh, they probably think they're in Roche. Rightfully so. So they'll scale it out, see they're not, but then they're going to lose it when they come high ground, so now they know where they are.
Yeah. And the bear can kind of zone out. If they want to, they can go for Roche. They don't need to, though. I think that that's probably one of the ways that you could potentially lose this game.
Fade's actually stuck here, but it's in a position where she could have an impact as the Willow onto that Roche. However, Fnatic are not interested in that. They are looking for kills.
Oh, man. All they need is just one opening from DJ. Or anybody, honestly. They've got a lot of plays to potentially make.
They're all on top of a ward now, too.
Paladai backs up. And with that, it looks like the push will stop. And maybe, again, going back for Roshan, since they're going to have really good vision in this area. Or they wait for somebody to push out. Fear. Stack the Wind Ranger, the stun, a rare miss. But they did find DDC as he's going to drain the mana of the bear. Curse Crown to follow that as well. God, so much damage coming in from the familiars. Yang just doesn't have an answer, and they do jump forward onto one, but the Winter's Curse pulls him back in, and, well, there's going to be the combo that you needed out of your Earth Spirit. Sylar trying to run through and get away. The rest of BGJ taking the damage over time. Alchemist also soon to be in trouble as he is completely isolated and going to die. He does have buyback. You hate to see it, but he has to use it, and now the roll forward from War. They take down Fade. He buys back as well. Everybody's back alive, but they don't have the majority of their ultimates.
Envy wants those mega creeps. He's in there with the birds. And they're going to micro that away. Break this a nice stomp there, too, just to slow them down. Save these birds.
They're taking him down. Yang almost dead. Does manage to barely escape, but they are mega, and TDC throws out the finger. It's not even enough to kill off Abed. Guess what? Fairy Keeper's Cloak is a pretty good ability. Now the jump away. Again, Yang just wants to kill off DJ. He's been a thorn in his side all game long, but they're not going to be able to do it. And GG is called. Fnatic winning game number 1.
Excellently played. I wasn't that confident in their super push strat. I thought maybe there'd be a chance for them to hold on with the Ursa and everything, but they just, even though Envy had a really rough start, like he was by far the poorest core on their team, he focused up, got himself that helm, and then he joined with the fights, and then they were already winning by the time he got Radiance. And when you can manage to get a Radiance as like a win more item, you're in a very good spot.
Totally. Like they were ready to see high ground basically without the Radiance. Yeah. And I think that the double Helm of the Dominator, like this is an item that's really known for its aura, but the active ability of having these extra creeps and then the stuff they bring to the table, the ice armor on the bear, you know, being able to either get like the swiftness aura from the tomato or whatever you want to have. It's really solid, just early game pressure. And if nothing else, the draft was single-minded. They knew what they wanted to do, and they accomplished it.
Yeah, and we talked before when we were watching EG play just about how that team has been going a lot for these like supports who have a lot of team fight. And to me, Winter Wyvern and Earth Spirit himself is like what I call like team fight in one hero. You know, he's your pocket team fight. You can pick any 3 cores with an Earth Spirit and still have great team fight. So we'll take a look at some of the replays from the game.
Yeah.
This was a little bit of our opener here, 14 minutes in, when Fnatic really started rolling. This is when they had the full wraparound play, came up from underneath and behind, and then this is it's like up top, it's like, oh yeah, it's only a 1K lead, but it was an out game.
Definitely. And, you know, you talked about team fight in a bag with the Earth Spirit. The other thing that I always think of with this guy is long-range initiation. Like, it's like a 4 that doesn't need to be greedy. Right? Like he can be good with items, but he doesn't have to have them absolutely. And you look in there, all he has, I mean, Spirit Vessel's a lot of gold, but it's like that answer that they have to the Alchemist, and he doesn't need a Blink Dagger. He doesn't need anything else to initiate. He can start these fights, and DJ to me felt like the MVP in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then once he did have the Blink Dagger, he's able to make those big combo-breaking plays. It's just when there was any hope for Thunder, where they were actually just trying to like capitalize on the fact that Fnatic had spent their spells, they just couldn't even get in there.
God, the ulti onto the Visage with Gravekeeper's Cloak, it's just so much damage mitigation. It hurts. That hero is first phase banned in a lot of these games for a reason. As we see the GG there. Not a whole lot of highlights, because that one was quick.
Yeah, and it looked like kind of an easy game for Fnatic, but I think if you guys watch a lot of other teams with Visage, you'll see these games where it just does not go that way, you know? Right. Where the Visage doesn't work out because people don't play well enough around it as a full-on team, because it is a team hero. You have to actually capitalize on that helm the second it's out, the medallion the second it's out, take all these towers, and they were very methodical. They did in perfect function, which is kind of a classic NV team when they're on their game.
Right.
So very strong stuff from Fnatic, and certainly a hero you're going to want to be worried about if you play them later.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our first game of the final series of the night. One more game on the first day of groups here, and it's been a barn burner across the stage. I got 4 streams going simultaneously. We're just inundated with Dota. You wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. So stick around. One more to go. VGJ.Thunder versus Fnatic right after this. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, all over the wide, wonderful world of Dota 2. We're here in our final match of the group stage, Day 1 Fnatic. They've taken the Dota world by storm, it feels like, and they're playing up against Thunder. Not VGJ Storm this time. That will be a hell of a match when it happens eventually.
I'm sure it's coming. Yeah.
Lyrical, Trent Pax are 2 casters for this one, and I gotta say, I've been really impressed with this Fnatic team. I thought that they had some potential coming into it. It was sort of like a, as it always is with this team, hit or miss, but more often than not, I feel like they have at least the potential to always win one.
Whoa. You gotta slow down.
Okay.
The last thing Fnatic wants is people being hopeful for them.
That's
because
true.
Nothing weakens them faster than a fan base.
Yeah.
So let them, just slow it down. If you're a Fnatic fan, you want them to win, just stop typing comments, stop posting stuff. Just gonna make it worse. DM Envy and be like, yo, man, great job. Give him that positive reinforcement. You can tweet at Envy and say he's doing great, but don't hope for the team as a whole because that curses them.
That's true. Nobody wants to be cursed, particularly in the group stages. And it is just day one, so a lot is going to change overnight, I'm assuming, in the way that all of these teams are drafting and playing and picking. And, it's going to be something to watch for. But at least in that last game, they looked dominant. We talked about it during the draft. It is a push strategy. Enchantress was left open. Fnatic do not have first pick this time, so I have a feeling that they're going to ban it. It looks like they might be banning it in the second phase, or maybe they think that VGJ.Thunder don't play it, which could be a possibility. But regardless, that was sort of the catalyst to get this moving. You look at what those rest of those lanes were like. Lone Druid, get Helmet Dominator, push a tower. Visage, get Helmet Dominator, push tower. Enchantress, just be Enchantress and push the tower.
Oh, it certainly worked out. If they're able to keep that kind of a pace and have that in their toolkit, it's a much bigger threat during the drafting phase because you have to worry about what sort of a speed they're going to play, because the classic thing about Fnatic is you kind of always knew. They played the same speed. They would just pick this Terrorblade or Medusa, and that was kind of it. See if they could win the game off of it.
Yeah, now the mind games begin of, okay, if we do give you Enchantress, does that mean, or rather, if we don't ban Enchantress here, does that mean we're forced into picking it? And it is just going to be banned out by Fnatic.
Interesting how that they're going to ban out that Tiny now that's the 2-3 for Fnatic. So they weren't worried about last game because they probably thought they were going to go the Ench maybe, and then they wouldn't opt for it. But because the Ench is banned out, they're thinking that the 2-3 would be the way for them to grab the Tiny +1 just because they like it so much. They did so much of the Summit with like the Tiny Wind Ranger or the Tiny Undying, Tiny Shadow Demon. So many good
10
openers.
seconds remaining.
Speaking of which, the Necrophos is open. Is a hero the VGJ.Thunder have played.
remaining.
They've never first picked it. I assume if they want it, they want it fourth. So they'll probably open with a strong support here.
Fanatics.
They could even go for something like Avenge onto Fnatic. Like, this is 3 potential universe heroes banned out, and then they take one of them.
But this is what I don't like. The reason I want the Necrophos fourth is because the Shadow Demon's left in the pool, and Fnatic love it. It's like this classic counter to Necrophos. They go for the Nyx Assassin. There's so many good heroes to counter this that the benefit of taking it fourth is that then you just get to ban out the counters.
Right. Well, and the question is,
10 seconds
are there
remaining.
too many things that we need to ban out? And do they feel like they're just, that
seconds
Fnatic would just
remaining.
take it and they don't have the answer? Like, can you first phase a Shadow Demon as VGJ.Thunder? Like, because they could have
not,
just,
in their opinion, but
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
Fnatic
that's
would.
fair. Yeah, that's a good point. And I think we did see a couple of teams do that also as sort of an answer to the Necro in general. But regardless, it is Necro taken. Shadow Demon in the pool.
I kind of like Shadow Demon. Maybe Nyx isn't quite strong enough yet, but okay, this is a different answer. They loved the last game. Now they have done DJ Shadow Demon in the past, so I think they'll probably just keep that open for the second phase, and it's highly unlikely that VGJ.Thunder would ban it because of what they've opened with the Wyvern. So they'll have that option there, and then they'll go for the Weaver, who's just been a complete lane dominator and banned out most games in the first phase.
And now you have the potential also, if you wanted to either run the Shadow Demon or the Vengeful Spirit, either of those lanes is really hard to deal with by Fnatic. Or they can go a completely different way too. It is VGJ.Thunder now with their second pick.
10 seconds
And they need to deal with elusive heroes. They need to deal with high team fight. But they have the Necrophos at the very least.
Okay, great Rubik game. Wyvern and Weaver revealed. Is he a strong enough hero to warrant that? I'm not positive. But if there was ever a 2 hero to it would basically have to be like Weaver Jakiro to make me any happier right now.
Okay. Jakiro we haven't seen a lot of.
No. Good thing too, because I thought about him as most picked. I thought he'd really be on fire. I don't think he's been picked at all.
Yeah.
So close one. At least Venge is giving me hope here.
He dodged a
5
bullet.
seconds remaining.
So
Speaking of most picks, CM slipping through once again here. But I love Wyvern. I think Wyvern's just better CM personally. That's my. I mean, obviously not just straight up better, but to me, the importance of the BKB team fight just cannot be overlooked at all this hero. It's just, there's so few fives that do this, especially with Silencer being banned out every single first phase.
at the things that it feels like matter right now, Winter Wyvern is doing those things better.
Yeah.
CM does different things.
Yeah.
And one of those things is obviously like the lane
10 seconds remaining.
helping you out there by being able to spam out abilities. So there's going to be a
5
Clink span
seconds
now.
Remaining.
Another one of those heroes that's kind of risen to prominence. I'm surprised by that Rubik. It feels like it's situationally very good, but I would very rarely think of Rubik as a second pick overall.
They need to either put it with the Necrophos or they need some other crazy hero that just cannot be easily dealt with in lane at all.
VGJ
It's kind of the same
Thunder's
problem that
turn to
Earth
ban.
Spirit has, where you need this really strong hero to kind of get him through the laning phase, and then the hero's sick.
Right. Man, I was watching through the qualifiers last night, just like checking out some of the games from them and stuff, and I saw PL again, and like how strong this hero is with the doppelganger
Fanatics
talent
turn
and with
to
a heart,
ban.
and I was
Yeah.
thinking like, I don't think that illusion nerf is enough. I think this hero is going to start to see some more play again, and it is going to be banned out by Fnatic.
Yeah, a little surprised we haven't spotted one yet today. I'm sure maybe he's popping up on the other streams, but we haven't witnessed him ourselves. But
Fanatics
he
turn
still
to
is
pick.
very strong in the laning phase, has an annoying nuke, and with the right partners, he can zone several heroes out of his lane. But Weaver's not one of them. It wouldn't have been that easy for them, but Fnatic will still respect it with the ban.
Other big carries that you need to potentially worry about. Spectre is still in the pool. I
Is
think
this a Drow game? Because they just banned the Brood when they have 10th pick.
10 seconds
And they already have the
remaining.
Weaver, they have the Wyvern. It's pretty good against that like Necrophos sort of a strat.
VGJ.Thunder's turn.
Yep.
Drow Ranger.
Oh,
It's a
calling
Drow.
it.
I really like it. Fnatic dotes. They are on point right now. Very nice drafting so far.
Yeah. And I guess it's the type of thing, too, where, okay, Necrophos is really great in these long, sustained team fights, but if that push comes before he can get the items to stay tanky, is he actually going to be able to stop this pressure? And this is the exact same
10
thing that
seconds
Fnatic did in the
remaining.
last game. It proved to be effective. There is better wave clear already from
5
VGJ.Thunder, though.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, but do you know what lane is really cool?
What's that?
Weaver Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they have Venge Drow, and then they have Weaver Wyvern. That feels pretty nice.
Yeah, that's dirty. A lot of W's and V's in that. Winter Wyvern, Weaver, Venge.
It's a tongue twister. All right, VGJ.Thunder. So right now, you just had this game. You just got run down, and they just picked Drow third. And you're like, all right, guys, what happened last game? What were we saying that whole game could have been better? What heroes were in our head? What were we sitting there going, oh, I wish I was this hero. Or, oh, if I was this hero right now, it would be so much better. That's what they got to find. I don't know if Coddle is that answer. He used to be one of these heroes we'd look towards in these situations. He can just buy you so much time. He's really good against all physical lineups with the blind, too.
Yeah, maybe you go into something like that and like a Medusa, so you have some late game, all right, this is just going to be our answer. But even that just feels bad against like everything that they've got.
There's Bloodseeker, he's kind of okay. He has good follow-ups against the Cold Embrace. He can just silence people, and he is decent wave clear with the Blood Right too.
I mean, again, it's just when you see this Drow Ranger pick with the Weaver,
Fanatics
it's a
turn to
threat
pick.
that needs to be addressed. It's just so much pressure that comes onto your lanes very rapidly, and if you don't have an answer to it, the game can just end. And it's different than the type of ending that we saw in the last one, where it was a bunch of summons that were all going in there. Now you've got the heroes themselves that are the problem. So Wraith King.
How bad do they want Visage? That's the question.
10
Visage or
seconds
Venge?
remaining.
Visage. Because if you really want Visage, you can just pick it here, right? Because you don't want to get
5
banned out.
seconds remaining.
But then you have the 10th pick, so you kind of want that option. But they could also do support Weaver because they have a Drow Ranger. So then they could pick a different hero for Universe if they wanted to in the 10th pick.
So they would still have flexibility in that way. Yeah, that feels like it's the type of thing that Fnatic value in a
It's the
draft.
type of thing Envy thinks of.
Yeah, that's
They'll never
true.
see
VGJ
the support Weaver coming back. But it's going to be the DJ Wind Ranger. Oh, a feisty pick. No Venge, but that's okay because DJ slays on this hero. And it's a lot of magic nuke, which some of the Venge doesn't. He kind of has, but the range is a lot better on the Wind Ranger, and you can kind of punish the Ghost Shroud.
It gives you that kind of initiation that you might need in the mid game. If things start to fall off in terms of like, I think that with taking down the outer tier 2 towers, which should be capable to happen by Fnatic, that should give Wind Ranger enough to get into a Blink Dagger, and then you can start just finding pickoffs on these heroes left, right, and center. And
it is still flexible. It could be for Abed in the mid lane, and they can still go back for something like that Venge if they feel like they have a chance for a good Roche or something.
Right.
So lots of role possibilities here for Fnatic. Now, VGJ.Thunder, the Wraith King, I'm not 100% sold on. He does nothing against wave clear. Like, he can't wave clear himself. I feel like his itemization is very difficult against a Drow strat because he wants a Blink Dagger to get on top of the Drow. But then if he gets a BKB, like, or sorry, if he gets a Blade Mail, like, is it really going to work that well? Like, they're just going to walk away from you when it's on.
Right.
I don't think there's any spells you're really going to slap down to and, like, do all this damage back or something. So he basically has to go for the Radiance build. And that feels like a hard thing to do this game. But they will go back for the Zeus, who has looked pretty strong today, even though he didn't close out the game that we saw him in.
5 seconds
Yeah, and I think that, like, you look at the types of heroes that you've got, and it does feel like just sending that Wraith King into the middle of all of them could be good if you manage to get a Radiance. That's damage mitigation that's like so good because of the mischance on all those heroes, because it's all right clicks pretty much. But it's again that problem of getting to that point. He probably needs another item before he can just go straight into the Radiance, and that feels tough to get in a game that's going to have this type of tempo.
An Axe Ban.
That's nifty.
Maybe they are looking towards a Visage last year. I guess because the Abed hero is still in there, so they probably are. I mean, the assumed Abed hero.
I mean, the other thing is that he could just like skip waves or whatever, which would be hard to deal with. And then that puts the pressure on him in another way.
5 seconds remaining.
God, 4 ranged heroes with Drow.
And it'll be a 5th, I'm sure. VGJ.Thunder, what are they missing in there? They don't have good Roche fight either. Ugh, God. They don't have any. I don't see any answers to Drow in this lineup. I guess Axe would have been kind of okay, but they certainly need some sort of AoE like chance at the Roche pit. I would think, unless they just crush their lanes, which isn't something we've really talked about so far. But that's pretty important, and they will eventually go back for the Bloodseeker. So I do like this. I thought that would have been a good, even 3rd pick, but they find it at the end anyway, and they'll ban out the SF. Man, there were so many good heroes here.
Yeah, a lot of answers. If you wanted to, you can just go back for something like a Storm for Fnatic. Ensure the late game with Abed.
That's true. So Storm, Templar Assassin,
10 seconds
Visage.
remaining.
They have their complete pick of the litter. This is a nice example of like you can kind of see exactly what is the Fnatic value when there's like all of the options in the pool.
Right.
You really get this idea of like, oh, okay, so the next time you're banning and you need to pick out the Abed hero, this is pretty much the primo draft to look at and be like, okay, clearly this is their favorite. Like,
yeah, it's true. I mean, the other thing, though, is that it might just be what they prefer against VGJ.Thunder. But I think that, yeah, you default to the thing that you feel most comfortable with, particularly at the end of a long day. Even if they weren't playing, the amount of mental energy it takes to keep up with 4 streams simultaneously and track the meta, that's a lot of work that these teams are putting in constantly. So
how does this draft fail from Fnatic right now? Basically, I'd say maybe not securing the first Roche could hurt them. If they lose a couple team fights in a row, but the team fighting isn't that crazy. They just have like run at you heroes right now from VGJ.Thunder. So they could use like a stopgap hero, like someone who can kind of like stand there and slow that down.
could go like Phoenix support and then have Weaver in the, run those two together. It'd be a little bit weird Wyvern Phoenix support combo, but it is just going to be the Visage you were talking about.
Yeah, that's definitely the assumed one.
Yeah.
Okay. He is a pretty good tank. He can kind of play this frontliner. He gets an extra summon. I feel like if you just let Fnatic pick 5 heroes, this is the 5 they'd pick.
Yeah.
If they, Fnatic, they're up against the Devil, playing for the golden Dota 2 game. Every one of your heroes becomes solid gold, and they need to defeat the Devil with 5 heroes. This is what Envy draws up. He's like, all right, what's my strat? It's a Drow strat. I'm Eternal in Envy. I got a Drow set. I got Drow style.
You're not calling VGJ.Thunder the Devil in this example.
I didn't say I wasn't. No, the Devil has to be like the greatest opponent you've ever faced, so clearly it's not VGJ.Thunder.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You set that up, not me.
That's fair enough. I mean, Fade going to be playing Zeus this time around. DDC Rubik. So a little bit of a mix-up. Sylar on the Wraith King. All right, let's see it. Let's go.
I think he needs to be like the big farm hero this game, so I definitely agree with that decision.
Yeah.
I think he needs Radiance for sure. I don't think your Necrophos is buying it.
Wow, that Necro item.
It's a sick item against Drowned Lamps too, like the Radiance. But yeah, that Necroscythe is awesome.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, we're hopping into this game number 2, the final heat of TI8, day 1 of the group stages. Not going to give any spoilers as to what's happening, but I will give a quick little tidbit here. After DJ was playing that Earth Spirit at the very same time, apparently Crit was also playing it.
Dude, I knew it. I knew it.
Happening.
I knew it. People doubted me. I said it was being spammed. I said it would happen. I said the hero was back. He's back, guys. I'm glad that hero was dead for like 2 years. It kind of gives you I guess it wasn't 2 years. It feels like it was 2 years, but it hasn't actually been that long. But it's nice to see him back when he's not like super broken. I feel like the hero is at this point where you need like ridiculous skill to make it work.
I will say it hurt to have him like occasionally be picked and still get nerfed every single patch.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like he was. Ice Frog does not like Earth Spirit. That has become quite clear to me.
Can you imagine what he was like when he first came in still?
Oh,
like,
God, he was...
Grip being able to be cast on allies at level 1. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it was good times. Jerax made a name for himself, that guy.
That was the best way to troll your allies. I mean, come on now. You just pull them onto a cliff.
Look at this. DJ, he was like, yo, man, you pick me, Wind Ranger, I'll tip you. Come on, dude. Help me out.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. See, that was the strat back in the day. You cliff your other support onto a cliff.
Get a free ward.
You tell them, all right, you know what? If you don't buy these wards, you're staying here.
It's a pretty solid strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hostage negotiations. Perfect.
That's how you build team morale.
I think that's correct. I'm going to go with that.
Plan to win, baby. So it is going to be a movement down here bottom. VGJ.Thunder going to try and secure themselves.
Oh, spotted.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
Envy too fast. Yeah, there's the tip. He's like, yeah, Envy's so good, dude. You got that ward down? Thanks, man. Thanks for helping the team.
That's right. And it should be Fnatic pretty easy secural of these top 2 bounty runes. Don't think they're going to come and contest for bottom, and we'll see what the ward situation is like. But as far as sort of lane setups, is it kind of what we're expecting, or is it kind of what we were expecting?
Yeah, I think so. Support Zeus looked like the most likely case, and that's what we'll get to go with DDC on the Rubik
begins.
and Bloodseeker mid versus the Visage. Yeah, I don't see why you'd send anyone else there. Looks good.
Okay. Do you need to be careful about how you go for the D ward down bottom here so you don't reveal your own ward? But it might just be inevitable, and it's probably worth it still just to get the D ward and then threaten as Universe, doing some damage to DDC at the start.
I think with the lane setup, they don't have to anyway, honestly. They'll just come D-ward it later when the support makes a rotation. They'll just bring a sentry just for the gold, and Wyvern's the one who's actually bought it. Okay. Die.
30 seconds in, and here we go. Early Splinter Blast, if they want to go for it. They spot each other out. Hello, hello.
Yeah, he's in a risky spot, so he doesn't want to go for the Splinter's Blast, so just go for the Arctic Burn. And look how much damage this hero does, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Wyvern is just the greatest.
I think DDC blocked him a little bit in there. It looked like there was some pathing issues why he didn't just go right back up. But regardless, it is a lot of damage on there early, and what they're facing off is a tri-lane. And again, it's Envy being the one that's sacrificed.
And we'll see just how quick he can catch up. He's going to his Wyvern now, and this will be the 2 lanes that we were anticipating here. And they allowed Envy to get it really quick, too, and Pilot Eye shows up, has the ward. He's game.
Nice. Very well picked up there, as can go for another Arctic Burn in a second. And, I mean, it's a really cool strategy, too, with the Winter Wyvern, because you sort of get the double value out of it. Arctic Burn is great for trading the regen, and you make sure that you get good regen trades in both of your side lanes first.
Yeah, and what's important about Winter Wyvern and why the hero is so good inside these dual lanes now is because she has like that same idea of Crystal Maiden, where it's like there's so much value per hero.
Right.
You know, you should be able to get every Splinter Blast onto both heroes, and every time you activate Arctic Burn, it lasts so long that you can definitely get the debuff on both of them. And it's just an absurd amount of damage. Now, here's that thing you were talking about, where you don't want to reveal your Observer Ward, because Fade, although he just made a huge play, he actually walks in time to block off the small camp. Very nicely done.
Wow.
And one thing Pilot Eye also did, though, is he did block off the hard camp, too, in case they get one pull-off. He doesn't want them to get a second one if he leaves Envy alone here.
Well, and they're also able to make sure that they get the full creep wave pulled back to them, Fade, by using the bolt, and that makes sure that the lane equilibrium is into the favor of VGJ.Thunder, at least for the moment. As they try and get another pull, not quite going to work that time either. And yeah, standing pat while the missiles are thrown all over the place. A lot of right-click damage onto Envy. Zeus is dealing significant damage at this point, and with one more hit, it's almost enough. Can they kill him off in time? The creeps, actually, and rather the damage over time from Wraithfire Blast killed him off.
Got it.
Wow. All right, solid start. Wraith King, I think, most important hero of this game, has to somehow become threatening. First Blood is a great way to get that going. In the top lane, this very aggressive dual lane of the Weaver and the Wind Ranger has not yet secured a kill. It's a bit tough because it is a Necrophos, who's one of the trickier ones to be playing up against, but they're also against the DDC Rubik, who is staying alive somehow.
Yang does not have any points in Ghost Shroud.
That's good, because they definitely need a kill up here.
I mean, they realize that there is not another hero in this lane. Rubik actually rotating all the way towards mid right now. See if he can do something to possibly help out against Abed. But
yeah, Wyvern's drawing a line saying he did something like this, but Rubik's actually nice and tight here, and Abed kind of predicting that.
playing it safe.
And it's pretty hard to even make something happen with this Rubik right now. I'm not sure what he's hoping to achieve here. At this point, he might as well just secure the 4-minute rune.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's going to end up doing.
Oh, he gets in. So we'll get a grab, so some harass here.
Visage very fast after he gets the Grave Chill off, and the rune is going to be top the illusion. Not the best one in the world, but also not the worst. Maybe uses it to stack up some camps or something.
Yeah, can probably make a play happen too where you like bait out some spells from the Wind Ranger and the Weaver.
Okay. Yang trying to do the pull. DJ will deny that from him. Exactly what you want to have happen. And in the bottom lane, Pylai Dai is going to be able to secure
top
this
lane.
pull.
Look at these body blocks from DDC. He's holding them back. Oh, he has to use the shackle just for that, but then the lift comes out.
DJ in some trouble, but they do bring in the Weaver now and Universe. The salve up, actually, DJ could think about coming back in here and doing some extra damage, but he's just going to TP bottom, where instead they're going to be battling. Pylai Dai goes down. Fade able to find that kill, but now he's in no man's land and will be punished as the shackle comes out. He does have a TP, but instead steals out a bit more damage to Envy before he falls.
I get that last hit.
5-minute mark. DDC
secured. Nice play.
And Universe, he's not going to try and go for it. So
these bounty runes are just so important. Like, when you're playing these position 5s, especially someone like Rubik, who like doesn't really want to be position 5, you need these bounty runes. Because like suddenly DDC is enough for boots. Hello.
What? What the hell? All right.
You know, sometimes you're just like shift queuing and not looking at your hero.
Yeah.
I think that's what just happened.
I don't think either of them were looking at it. Both were looking somewhere else.
Dire's top tower
Just
is under
wards.
attack.
That feels bad.
I just think DDC is still standing on top of him. He's like, yeah, he's still here.
This is the weirdest little interaction that I've seen in a while out of support movement. But it will be Rubik heading back up top. No more ward, looking sheepish. And Abed going to be able to secure himself an okay time. I mean, you kind of need to give Abed a little bit more help now, considering that Freeze is level 6. It's a scary time, at least until Visage is able to get 6 himself.
Yeah, defend yourself with birds. But Siler's still looking pretty good down here. Last hit's on point with his mid laner. They are denying a lot out of Eternal Envy here. Speaking of denying 16 for Butsy, but bottom lane, it is another go here, and I don't think the support rotations are going to be enough. Like, they've spent so much already on Envy, he just goes for last hits.
Yeah, he knew what he needed to do. Meanwhile, Freeze gets one last touch there from him after the rupture, and just goes to show you cannot deal with the DD'd Visage. It's a lot of damage, and as soon as the rupture wears off, look at the punches onto DDC. He's going down. Abed turns around the gank and gets his 6. Huge plays.
It did cost them Envy down bottom, though, because that Wyvern wasn't there to rotate.
Is under attack.
So that is the price they pay, but certainly worth it when this is your sacrificial core versus the most farmed hero on the enemy team, and it's more space over to Universe here, who's essentially your true carry right now to pair up with the Visage.
Yeah. Well, the Helm about to be completed. It is now done.
7 minutes, so we'll see if they can perfect this again. Last match, one of the best Visage kind of like follow around games you'll watch. Very clinical, very to the point. So See if they can continue with that. I think one good thing that they have going for them is that Bloodseeker is extremely chaotic, and so is Zeus. So that might be able to disrupt their flow a little.
Yeah. Chaos able to just throw a little bit of those wrenches into their...
Usually the strength of Eternal Envy.
That's
the
true.
chaos has now been turned against him.
I mean, that's what they need, right?
This is very anime. I believe this is what he needs.
And Universe is level 6 now, so very hard to kill this guy off. They do have the Rubik in the area. He's only level 3 on DDC.
Yeah, he just has the TP.
God, that feels so bad. And he doesn't even get like any of the experience from it either.
Yeah, at least he only went Shrine, so he's still here.
Okay.
But the ward's going to spot him instantly. Hello.
Abed picks up the...
Well, there you go. Ward instantly denied.
Yeah.
Or dewarded, rather.
Wyvern is also very, very broke right now. No boots to the name, just a tango and a prayer.
Even broken heroes can be broken.
Oh, DDC. He might be going down. Yang is moving in. I don't want to use it. Instead, it's going to be DDC that goes down.
Yep.
So Pilot Die able to escape. And again, mid lane, all this action up top means that they can pressure this tier 1 tower.
He just keeps purging him. Get wrecked. Little Satyr Banisher.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do?
Radiant's
I mean, is
bottom
really
tower
blood
under
raging
attack.
yourself even that great? Like, I guess you get the heals from it, but it's a rough one. Oh no, Yang, no TP yet. He does have it if they want to use it, but there's going to be the gust. The right click's coming in. Is it enough damage? Not quite in time, but still forced back again in lane. The pings are there. They want to try and
This
just
is
run
3
it Abed.
heroes. They need this.
They need it real bad. Resummon. They turn. They try and take down Freeze. He's taking so much damage. These birds are just killing him off. And meanwhile, Abed is eventually going to fall. If he loses his birds here, this would be tragic. But he does manage to get the stun off in time.
They're going to bring all of their heroes here. And Pilot Eye is the best hero for this situation, though. He already has 2 points in the Splinter Blast. That is always a 7-second cooldown. And he's got enough damage to hold back this wave and make sure there's no hope of a push, especially with the heroes that VGJ.Thunder have, honestly. So this will help him get towards 6, which basically means the Tome can go to anyone right now for the Radiant side. Yeah. Maybe Envy, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. His level 6 matters a lot. But Bounty Runes going to be next on the docket, I would assume. It does look like Yang is in a position to secure the bottom ones, and Fnatic only get 1 for Universe, while Fate picked up the other.
He will find the Invis rune up top, though. So thanks to their Observer Ward, he knows that's there for his bottle.
Oh, Fate. Got bugs on him. Man's going to take a lot of damage. They still have time-lapse available, and with... Oh, God. The bugs and the birds.
Yeah, and then an Invis rune. Aha.
Jeez.
They need this Tome on the Rubik, too. Needs a 6. I think it's more important than the Zeus for sure. And I think, is that a flying? Yeah, it's it coming out now. So now they can actually play versus this Weaver. And Envy, likewise, will be gifted a little bit of knowledge here.
He gets level 7 now off of that. It is surprising. I mean, and in a way, it feels like it's almost being played in the support role more by Envy right now, because he is almost behind DJ.
This is pretty much how Drought works right now, though. Is that like you get punished, you sacrifice yourself, and then your aura is supposed to enable the other 4 heroes.
Yang tries to stay alive, but wasn't able to get the Reaper Scythe off. I think that he was actually mid-animation on that one.
Yeah, and they have the Precision Aura toggled on right now. All that damage in the birds.
This is a ridiculous amount. And Fade looking like he's going to fall. They give the kill to DJ. They do rupture Abed again, but is this really what you want to try and do? He's going to TP away from them. Shackle again.
Freeze needs to be a little bit careful here. There's turnaround potential for sure.
Oh my God, he gets power shot DJ. Triple on the Wind Ranger with no regard for human life.
Drow Ranger. Just like in the jungle, giving so much damage to your team right now. I mean, this is peak performance, right? You're just level 7, you have the ulti, giving 36 damage at under 12 minutes. And that's absurd.
Oh, DDC. He does steal time lapse and tries to get out of there, but the birds are chasing again. God, every time they're going at you, it's like you can feel death coming.
Curse. Oh, don't do it, man. Why'd you do it?
Oh, he's trying to live.
What's the curse gonna do? Why? Why, Pilot Die? You know it's coming. You know it's your destiny. It's in your name. Why do you throw the curse?
That's fair enough.
Why do you do this to me?
And Abed just resummons anyways. Yeah, it's not the best. But, I mean, you know, Pilot Die, he's been here before. He's gotten himself boots now. He's feeling pretty rich.
All right, so that was a great moment. They got themselves a triple kill. However, the game is certainly still relatively even. Nothing too crazy. Now they've moved down here with this Wraith King, all those skeletons. That's going to get the tower with ease.
Yeah, this is what Sylar needs to do. And he did go for the armlet build. A little surprised by that one. But if he can get into that in the Blink Dagger, it feels like you have a chance to just blow up one hero, which is be the Drow Ranger again.
I mean, there's no doubt that the Radiance is risky, that because like right now they are snowballing pretty hard from the side of Fnatic, so he would be still very far away from Radiance.
Nice stun. Follow-up damage will be there. He gets the kill. Are the skeletons going to be turned against him? No, no Winter's Curse for 15 seconds.
Aha!
That's true.
Surely the skeletons would have secured that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In the meantime, though, this sort of continued force of Abed could be something that's scary. I think that Sylar is starting to do enough where he can get towards that position where he can carry the game. Like, level 10 already.
Yeah.
Has that attack speed talent, a ton of damage. He's the highest net worth in the game. It's the potential.
You can tell he's a true grinder for the team because he's level 6 on his Wraith King, but he doesn't have any points in the relics, so you know he doesn't even enjoy it.
Oh no, Yang. Universe very low. Oh, the stuns! It saves the life. Universe, no! Is gonna die though, as the TP took too long. Not sure exactly where he was TPing to. Didn't look like it was Fountain, but nonetheless, he goes down.
So relatively even exchange there. Slightly better for the Radiant side.
Yeah.
DDC down bottom has the time lapse. Not the skill he probably wanted from Weaver.
Yeah.
Doesn't let him be quite as irritating. All right, there we go. Splinter Blast. Get out. Abandon.
Oh, the jukes. The jukes, the jukes, the jukes.
Wow. The odds of that.
Yeah.
That was painful.
There are only a couple directions you can go around that tree, and they picked the wrong one.
I mean, it's just like the perfect timing, too.
Yeah.
Like half a second either way, or even less than that, and he would have been good. He still hasn't TV'd out
All right, this guy is crazy. What is he doing?
Guys, I can get them to use... What? DJ's...
They thought that there was going to be follow-up to that, I guess.
Yeah, what?
Attack.
I don't know.
All right. All right. Why does it look like he's a DD all the time? This is a bow? This is something.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. Is it like a drow effect that I didn't hear about or something? I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah.
No kill.
And pops the shrine, does have the veil. So a little bit of extra armor. You know, by and large, it does not look that terrible for VGJ.Thunder. I think that they have the heroes that are going to allow them to defend against the push. I guess my question is, does Fnatic kind of scale better? Because they do have these, you know, sort of fourth core in a win rate.
Yeah, I think they have better late game inside of VGJ.Thunder.
Okay.
You know, unless Wyvern like makes giant plays. I think the Rubik's really nice. The Zeus is definitely someone you can never count out because of Nimbus, and then the combo with the Bloodseeker is very strong. So I do like it heading late, as long as they can stay even. But I think if Fnatic get any sort of a realistic lead, which can definitely happen. It's just a Drow lineup. Even if VGJ.Thunder play well, they can still be behind like 5 or 6K, and I don't know if they have the heroes to really come back from that.
Right.
They don't have any big team fighter. There's no like Echo Slam or something coming out here. Sylar blinks in, destroys the courier, and gets the helm creep, but will he pay for it here?
Does have reincarnation still, going to be coming back in just a second. Highlight Die has the Winter's Curse. There's a couple heroes grouped together on the side of VGJ.Thunder. Universe running as well. The bugs are going to go out, and they decide to turn it now onto Sylar himself, as all the skeletons, all the everybody is trying to bring him down, find the kill. They take the Rubik as well. VGJ.Thunder just being ran at here, as they do have the Blade Mail, but not nearly enough damage to pose any kind of threat to Fnatic, who run right into Roche.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let the guy go. But they went into Save Your Buddy Syndrome, and they all died for it.
And it just goes to show, if they're in a position where they can just right-click heroes, they're going to be doing well, as Dire do manage to take down the Tier 1 tower top.
Nice.
It's something. Last game, I don't think they got a tower, and they got 2 so far.
But first Roche, Drow strat, goes your way. A+. Check that off on the flowchart. And now we move in towards securing Tier 2s with first Aegis, and then we get Aegis and Cheese, and we go high ground. All right. That is the game plan. Another good thing for them is that Fade, being a support Zeus, thinks he's going to have a harder time getting towards any sort of Aghanim Scepter. He also didn't go towards the Aether Lens either with his Arcane Boost. He's just going in for a Kaya.
Huh. I mean, benefits, negatives.
Radiant are set.
I think his mentality here is probably just for dealing with the waves, I guess, right? It just gives him like less mana cost, more spell amp, so he can quickly push stuff out and try and do damage from afar. You still get the spell amp when you're not involved, and as a support, you can't really be in the engagement because you don't have mobility items.
And I guess the other thing too is that like holding on to that Bassi casually, he's got 3.3 mana regen, which isn't bad. And if he has like a Clarity or something running at the same time, you know, getting into these things, it's going to sustain his mana for a longer period of time.
Dire's
Definitely.
top
But they
tower
really
is under
want eggs.
attack.
At some point.
I'm with ya.
Pretty good.
Tower is under attack.
That is quite the item on that hero.
And check off box A. And surely we're moving on to box number B. You'll find that in the mid lane, looking out the right side of your cabin. Pilot Eye holding the high ground, awaiting any sort of a target and making his presence very known.
Yeah.
Radiant's
there's not much you can do to
bottom
that.
tower is
Like,
under attack.
You know that this rotation is going to be coming as Fnatic just walk down towards mid, and their out spam is pretty limited. Like you've got these heroes that can kind of do it, but they become endangered when you have a Winter Wyvern that can initiate from so far away and set up something like a Winter's Curse.
At least he's running out of mana.
Yeah, that's something.
Top lane, though, the Necrophos out all alone.
Oh, no. Yang.
Looks like he'll be okay, though. I don't think they can get a Shackle. Just some harass.
They do start to rotate in to see if they can defend against this. Fade, Invis.
This is a good smoke. Because I know there's two heroes not here.
Now they have the jump forward. Oh, the blink away, though. He couldn't find him. And now Universe running as well. DJ with the quick fingers. And now they're in kind of an awkward spot.
They have the Soul and Shikuchi. Very valuable DDC, trying to find a big play with a lift.
Gotta be careful, though. The time-lapse gets the Weaver away from Yang before they can find the kill. DJ kills off DDC, and now looking for more. They can still turn with the Reaper's Sight, but the long-duration silence on Yang. The turnaround, can they kill him off? It's only the Aegis. Freeze now also found. They don't bring down Abed. They don't think they're going to bring down Envy yet, at least. Oh, wait, no, the turnaround.
Oh,
with the Winter's Curse! They turn it! He is still caught there, but the Shackle 2 bursts as well! They're destroying him, DJ! Have mercy, my man!
And
Universe running.
He's just walking through these fights now. Universe went a little bit too deep after losing that Aegis.
Oh no, but DJ is here looking for the shackles. Has he gone too far? The absolute madman kills off DDC, a triple kill.
Oh, give him the taunt, baby.
For the support.
That's second triple kill of the game.
Is he not done? He's thinking about it, but with
done.
Fade coming back in, all right, he's back.
Oh, he just gets a regen rune. I mean, yeah, you should be rewarded for play like that. That's fair.
Top damage on his team. And, I mean, they forced the buyback into dieback on the Rubik.
2 triple kills. This guy.
Unbelievable. It's, again, a movement from VGJ.Thunder. They feel like they need to make something happen on the map.
Yeah. This is what we were looking for last game, the DJ Windranger, and wondering, you know, is it dead? Is it not coming back for TI? But Drow certainly opens the window. He's just played this hero so much in the past couple months.
Yeah.
Very comfortable with the shackles that he's showing off.
They take down that ward quickly before it despawns. And meanwhile, Fnatic, after taking the fight in the jungle, are up 5,000 net worth, but more importantly, at experience around 7,500. And looking towards trying to potentially close out the rest of these tier 2 towers. God, he's got Blink Maelstrom.
It's this beautiful blue glow from the Clarity I'm seeing. This is very nice. Okay, I like it. Nice ambient effect here. Clarities are so strong, they now affect your cosmetics.
Hey.
Oh. All right, what do we do? All right, we got an Atos on a Necrophos. Is this scary? Can this do something? I think so. It's pretty strong. He's tanky. He's got the Veil.
Radiant
Who do we
are
target with
scanning.
that? Visage is so beefy.
Look, did you see Envy's items? He's got
Yeah.
a branch
He's
butterfly Aquila.
Dude, he's not involved, you know?
Yeah.
He stood in a fight. Like, he spent, what, 20 minutes? I mean, he left the lane, he just farmed jungle for so long while his team fought, and he didn't have to buy any build-up items.
Blink forward, finding one. It is on the Pilot Eye. It's a good target if they could take him down. Cold Embrace is dead. The Shackle not going to keep their buddies alive as VGJ.Thunder streaming forward, wanted to make something happen. It looks like that's the end of the fight, but it's a kill, and it's something on the board for them.
Everyone else is just a bit too high on the old HP to really get the chase down with the Bloodseeker, but it's such a minimal gain, too. next plan here is the flowchart was broken pretty nicely, right? With the first Aegis, they lost it in that fight, even though it was a really nice fight and they got the triple kills and stuff. Didn't actually gain them all that much for the side of Fnatic because they also had their own losses going right back, and they were ahead by a lot. So currently, things are slowing down at a very good pace for VGJ.Thunder. And they're going to need that next Aegis just to close out the Tier 2 and the Tier 3, which means they'll probably have to wait till Refresher Share to go high ground, unless there's obviously some big pickoffs or something from DJ. And he's looking to create them by thinking about a Scythe after this Blink Maelstrom.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks really good. And I think that that's one of the things, too, that we talked about is, like, this is the hero that sort of makes the engine of the Fnatic draft run, where they need to find those pickoffs before they can go for anything big. But you know what? Maybe you don't need it. Just get Universe to kill off the Zeus in the mid lane. There is still Tier 2 towers to be taken, and Roche possible to respawn in a minute and a half.
Well, DJ will just keep his side push going by himself. It's one of those pushes that is unnoticeable as well, right? You just keep power shotting from the fog like this.
Yeah. It's really annoying, and I mean, he does step up to the creep wave every now and then, but even if he is up there, like the blink dagger away, we've seen his reaction. Sylar looking for the pick. He has a blink himself, but immediately away.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, just way too slow of a hero to try that play. You saw it once, didn't work out. Pretty generous offering to DJ. Shikuchi, nice play by DDC.
I run away from it. Birds go forward, hit the tower a couple times, back out again.
This is the instant find Weaver, steal Shikuchi, and smoke up. So he's going to run into his heroes down here. Yep, and we're smoking. Oh, Rubik players, you know. Gotta do what you gotta do. This is why you pick this hero. You need to abuse the Shikuchi. This is your initiation for right now.
Oh, Pele does invis, though. If they break their smoke here, oh, they find him, though, and that's going to be the initial turn around. They find the Rubik starting to fall down low. The rest of the team can't get into the range. DEC is down low already, as is Sylar. The Rupture is out onto one. The Cold Embrace, as he was TPing, oh, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. They want to take this if possible to jump forward. The stun is out. The Reaper sight to follow, but Universe is in, as well as the silence onto two. There's a lot of damage coming in. They managed to find themselves another kill. Long duration silence from that Gust as DJ is running away. DJ and DDC battling off power. Very close to taking him out.
Yeah, and Envy just can't do quite enough damage yet. Even though he has this butterfly, like, you have to stand perfectly in these fights and try and get off his right clicks, but you have the evasion that was there for the Wraith King, really helped him out. There's a Vanguard on the Necrophos.
Are scanning.
So they can survive for now.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely the... Oh, no, they caught him again. Is this enough damage, though? He's got Ghost Shroud and 20 stick charges. There's no way Yang's dying.
Yeah, and DJ realized that.
I mean, you saw there in that last fight the strength that VGJ.Thunder can get on top of all these heroes. And with the Zeus going towards an Aghanim Scepter, this is only going to be accentuated as this game goes on. It feels like, again, this is not as bad of a stomp as we had last game. And potentially you have a way out if you're VGJ.Thunder.
Yeah, it just comes down to Roche. I mean, that fight was almost best case scenario for Fnatic. Aside from the fact that Abed's TV got canceled, like, they fully isolated the Wraith King. He took a ton of damage. The curse had to be used just on a Rubik with a Necrophos hitting him. Didn't give you any kills.
Right.
And, yeah, so things look kind of okay. But if there's any sort of a fight for Fnatic where, you know, maybe they're the ones initiating or something, things will still look pretty bad for VGJ.Thunder, one would imagine.
Now, Blade Mail, BKB completed for Freeze. It does matter, but when so much of the damage is just pure right clicks coming in, it's not like the most amazing thing in the world. As the Crimson Guard has done, that is the most amazing thing in the world. Gotta love that block.
Yeah, you really need it against your lineups. It's one of the best items. Well, they're holding the area of Roche. Just kind of pushing down mid, trying to scare tier 1. This would be a solid grab with Skellies.
Are fortified.
I'll stay here until the end of time.
Just Glimmer on the Wyvern for now. No other mobility items.
Man, Splinter Blast. What an ability. Look at this thing. It's like the creep wave is basically dead.
Every 7 seconds. Good hero.
Yeah, all of these heroes that Fnatic have, it feels like they're kind of the top tier picks in a way. You know what I'm talking about? Like, obviously Necrophos is really, really solid, but...
Oh, so is Wraith King and Bloodseeker
yeah,
and
I guess
Zeus,
that's true. That's fair.
Now, mind you, the synergy's a little bit stronger on the Radiant side, I would argue. Other than the Bloodseeker Zeus, they're pretty cool together. But so really, what we're saying is, you know, Rubik sucks. Look at this, not total tier 1 hero.
Yeah.
Garbage. You know what he needs? An Arcana. These players picking the hero, trying to get him buffs. Bless you. Bless you, DDC, for sacrificing your game.
This is the way it's got to be. It needs to happen for the people, really. And for the hero. He's getting towards a Blink Dagger soon as well. Now, maybe change his game a bit.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more likely that he'll be able to get the Winner's Curse.
Is that the top steal this game?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Drought lineup. Winner Wyvern is the ultimate counter to a drought lineup, which is also a great reason why they picked this first. Maybe it could have been considering that the whole time.
Yeah. So Dragonlance done for the Weaver, as well as BKB a while ago, getting towards that Lincoln Sphere. Also level 20 talent, which can be nifty. Sylar, very far forward, away from the rest of his team, but Yang moving in behind. They have the Purge to follow it up as well, as it can be used onto Yang if he uses that Ghost Shroud. Already slowing him, but the kill off the Helm of the Dominator creep. Sylar jumps forward, finds Pylai Die. I don't know if that's really where you want to be. The Winner's Curse to turn it back around. They're isolating the rest of these targets. A long duration silence, and he walks into the taunt. Fade not dead because of it, though, as Sylar starting to fall down. Now Universe going to town, seeing if he can kill up any of these heroes. The time-lapse back.
Shackle.
Great play, and the Shackle onto 2 is going to keep them controlled, but he does get the Ghost Shroud out. They need to find the stuns follow-up, but the silence onto those birds as well for the moment because of the Blood Right. They can get it the second time through. Freeze, pops his BKB, now trying to chase. Rooted for the moment is Envy. They try and kill him up, but it's not quite enough damage with the Reaper's Sight. And instead, it is going to be VGJ.Thunder running away, licking their wounds.
DDC went in with 3 HP. Wow, that creep wave could not have come at a better moment to slow down that power shot.
Jeez, that was very nuts. I think that this, again, is one of those moments where you love going in with the Wraith King, but that Winner's Curse.
They're just trying to start a fight on their own terms, and they're hoping they can, like, force a curse out or something into, like, a bad situation, but it's just not enough.
Tower is under attack.
And so easy Roche secure.
9,000 net worth lead. Experience also heading that way. And Scythe on the horizon for this Wind Ranger, who has eclipsed the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, she's starting to get a little bit too close. And look at Envy, too, by the way, in terms of, like, his game. I mean, I know he's just been farming the jungle for the vast majority of it. He's got involved in 12 of the 23 kills for his team, but that's kind of his role. Just stay alive, provide aura, let everyone else farm, give DJ a sick game. Yeah, that's what he's done. And we're giving the tomes over to Visage, of course. Try and get up to level 20. More so 25, honestly. Oh, is he going to give it over to Weaver? See that nice?
Is he?
I don't know. Courier's going to it. Nah, he's not.
This is mine. Yeah, it's just giving him his Lincoln Sphere.
And that's Eggs for Visage.
My goodness. Big old items all around. Just needs a little bit more gold, but yeah, it's going to be there.
Guys, who farmed the Ancients? Help me out here.
They got it. It's coming over. Give him the extra bird. It's beautiful. DDC trying to hide away here. See if he can stop the inevitability, which is a push with the Drow lineup. And 11,000 net worth lead. 30 minutes into this game.
Is under attack.
And again, this feels in a way like Fnatic. Oh, DDC, they...
That
would have been a really bad pickoff because their sets go high ground here right now. They have double catapults going. I don't think they're going to leave, even though they're still the tier 2 in the mid lane. And so a pickoff on DDC would have been devastating. He would have had to use his buyback, and that would slow down his Blink Dagger by another 400 gold.
Yeah.
Structures are fortified.
Tier 3 tower being assaulted.
Drought Aura was just popped, so they would like to get the most use out of it as possible.
Shackle, Yang, they're focusing the tower, though. It just drops so quickly when that Drow Aura, look at the damage on Yang! He didn't stand a chance. Now Sylar turned upon as well. They popped the Thunder God's Wrath, but it's not nearly enough damage. With the Arctic Burn coming in, that's 1 life from Sylar. Can they find him a second time, though? They have the silence out as well, but it's a 3-person stun from Abed. DDC is gone. See you later, bro. As they chase down and find the Shackle onto the creep that was already dead in the grave. Nothing is going to save you from DJ as they take down that tier 3 tower.
Can anybody even touch Eternal Envy and turn off this aura? The answer is no. It's just going. He's just back here like, okay, you guys got this? I would love to keep giving you a stupid amount of damage. You know, adding 100 damage to Catapult's pretty nice.
And the melee barracks is down as they do get the cold embrace. Abed living through it for the moment. A lot of damage coming out as they find themselves another kill. The Winter's Curse is there as well. They're going to have the follow-up stun. Rupture, please, as another Shackle is there. The 5-axe. VGJ.Thunder cannot handle the pressure, and GG is called.
Third pick Drow, and an excellent draft. VGJ.Thunder not able to find answers whatsoever. I don't think they had a very solid game plan against the strategy. I don't really like the heroes they went for. I guess it was just a riskier choice, right? Like, they had to dominate these lanes, and this Bloodseeker had to have a real sort of game, and he just had nothing. 2, 6, and 5 for Freeze. There was never a moment where this guy was running down a weakened Team Fnatic, ever. And if that doesn't happen in a Bloodseeker game, you have 0 chance of winning.
Totally. You know, I think that VGJ.Thunder have looked better than I expected them to coming into this. They've won a couple of games, but the real story for me, particularly in this series, is how good Fnatic look. And I was trying to talk about this in a draft. They didn't give me a second to mention it because they're just sort of winning so quickly. But you look at this team and the way that it functions, and it's still the same as it was before in, like, sort of overall composition. DJ becomes this incredibly farmed core off the back of like Envy being sacrificial and then making some space, even though he didn't really lose that much net worth in this game.
Yeah.
The difference is that they're not just picking Terrorblade every game, and they're not picking these other heroes where they have to fall behind and then they come back later. It's still like the same idea, but it's different heroes.
Yeah, it just looks really solid. Looks like they had a lot of good ideas coming into it, and they're executing them. They're playing comfort stuff. I mean, this isn't like a shock, right? I mean, Drow lineups and Eternal Envy have been around forever. He's a big fan of the hero and likes to work it into pretty much any team that he plays on. But this is one of the best casts to make it work too, right? Like, the fact that Weaver's in such a good place just made Drow have a much higher stock. The fact that Abed's such a good Visage player and just proved it 2 games in a row. And then, well, DJ is just DJ. This is, if there's any support player I want transitioning to core, like you said, this is it. But take a look at some of the highlights from the game here.
And you can see as well, just from the outset, things were looking okay here.
Is this
for
triple kill
VGJ.Thunder.
number 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Zoom. And then Freeze is like, I can go get kills.
Yeah.
And then Pilot Eye is level 6 suddenly and has Winter's Curse. And that's when Freeze finds out he cannot go get kills. This kind of stuff, too, when you're playing this Bloodseeker who's so snowball dependent.
Yeah.
You can't die like that.
And I mean, again, you can feel the, like, I sometimes talk about it in the games, like the anxiety to make something happen. But
Yeah. And then Save Your Buddy Syndrome here. It's like, oh, I'm going to turn around Blood Ray. Oh, I'm sorry. Now we're all dead.
And they're getting the minus armor stacking up while the Winter's Curse is still going. And yeah, they just end up all falling apart. Like, I think that the synergy of these drafts, too, like we talked about the Vengeful Spirit with the minus armor and Weaver, but at the same time, it's the bugs. Like, they're so hard to deal with.
Yeah, he's just a great physical hero, so he works so well with the Drow strat. And there was synergy on the VGJ.Thunder draft. I mean, Bloodseeker Zeus, this is kind of a classic, but the problem is the Zeus was in a support role, so he doesn't have the same levels. Didn't really have any sort of a threat going. The Aghanims came way too late to do anything. Well, because it didn't come, but...
Yeah. And again, there were moments where things felt like they were coming together for VGJ.Thunder, and like there was going to be all this great stuff. But it's kind of like that reset. God, and again,
Yeah,
like
DJ.
It's great to see those setups, but that's also the Winter's Curse, right? Yep. So it's all of their draft together. It's not just that he's making great individual plays. It's that Fnatic is setting him up to make those plays. And he's just going to kill DDC in front of Yang, and Yang's like, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything.
And this is a Fnatic that still hasn't shown they're tiny. That's been looking very good for them leading up into this tournament. I think Universe plays it really well. It kind of enables some of their other strategies that maybe are a little bit more late game focused. And that was one of the bans that was brought out here too. So it's just like you have so many things and tools to worry about right now.
I like this too. Universe making sure that he's going to get that full, I think it's 1,400, however many units it is that you need to make sure that you don't take damage from Rupture before he goes for the time lapse back. Just knowing the limits of that hero perfectly. And, well, great stuff. I mean, let's look at a couple of positives, because group stage, it's not all just about Fnatic, as much as they completely dominated this one. For VGJ.Thunder, can they take anything from this day, things that maybe they want to either work on or things that they feel like they might have done well and they want to replicate going forward?
I think both games, just like composition. I think that you need to look at like your general idea as a team. I feel like they get to the end of the draft and they're picking like pick versus pick versus pick. But then at the end, they have some small synergies like Bloodseeker Zeus. But I never felt like they had good team fight options. They had no comeback heroes either time. Like this idea of just being able to, AoE stuns. Those are pretty cool. They don't have any of those in this game. So if they don't have some big snowballing Bloodseeker, he just does nothing. He didn't really have a good partner either in the Bloodseeker. Like the Zeus is there, sure, but he's a support Zeus.
Right.
So who else is going to like wander around this Bloodseeker into enemy territory? Pretty much nobody. And you could see the desperation that they were in with their lineup because of the way this Wraith King just had to like blink in and try and create a fight at a tier 1 when they essentially knew all 5 heroes were there.
Yeah, totally. And that right there was pretty much the end of it. They knew that it was going to come to that. A good cheese usage there as well by Abed, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, overall, just super solid stuff. I'm excited to see this team going forward. Again, everybody always jokes about it 50-50, but I feel like those percentages are starting to change a little bit as this group stage is going on.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can close out a few more of these 2-0s here. But that's a very handy one to get at the end of the day and the end of our day, as we're all finished. And we'll be back tomorrow.